How do I get two girls to have sex with me at the same time?
Well, the important thing is they have to like each other. And if they're just meeting for the first time, offer to get them a drink and then let them sit there and talk to one another and get to know each other. Because then if you leave and you're waiting, especially like if you're out and they just meet you out, now you go to the bar. And as you're at the bar, women are naturally going to create rapport because they're both sitting there at your table. And then so by the time you come back with the drinks, they should be better acquainted. Just got to be open to it. And women that are more free spirited or open minded, it's like typically the first time it happened to me it was just offered to me by a girl I was seeing, and she showed me pictures of her girlfriend and then let me know that she also hooks up with her girlfriend who was one of her best friends and wanted to know if I wanted to meet them both, or meet her girlfriend, I should say. So it depends on, it's also let it be known what kinds of things that you're into. Be who you are, say what you feel, speak your purpose, put out into the world what it is you want, and be congruent with that. And girls that aren't down with that at all, they won't be cool with it. But some of them will. And that's what you're looking for, somebody that's open to it.
But in your case, was it so it was a girl you were seeing, were you guys exclusive?
No.
No?
We just started seeing one another a few weeks before.
Okay, yeah.
And she had like a girlfriend, or like.
It was her best friend.
Oh.
And they also like to hook up.
I had a guy friend that he wasn't dating anybody, but he had this lesbian couple, and they would just like hook up with him, like call him and like hook up with him randomly. I guess like they have like, I guess some people that, you know, are into threesomes, they have like their one person in their, you know, couple dynamic that they like to call on to do different sexual activities with. So.
Yeah, me personally, as a, like, if I were, like, hypothetically, if I were single, I feel that me personally, I wouldn't have any restrictions, so there's more leeway to that. But then again, I would not have a threesome with another girl. I'm just
You're really against it, Jocelyne.
No, it's not that. It's just like I don't like women that way. So why should I, have a threesome with a woman if I don't feel comfortable like that with a woman?
And that's part of the fun of getting to know a girl, because you're on a date and you ask her about it. Or are you into girls? Do you date women also? And that's just something that's naturally going to come up. And a girl that's open to that is going to be comfortable with it and cool about it. And she's going to probably have some hot girlfriends she'll want to introduce you to as you guys get to know each other. But if you're getting different girls together that maybe you're hooking up with both of them, and it's, in a date, like in the evening, making dinner together and telling them both ahead of time. You could show pictures to each one of the other one and see if they're open to meet. And if they are, then arrange a dinner in the evening at your place to make dinner together and hang out and have some wine and let the course of the evening. I mean, it's the same process that's in the book. The only difference is there's two women there that like you and like each other. Because the worst thing is when you get women in the same room that don't like each other. That is a bad time.
Yeah. You know from experience?
Things get very animalistic.
Stop pulling her hair.
What if she likes it, though?
My life's a drama-free zone.
Yeah. No, but me personally, like, on the other hand, if...
The girls got to like each other. That's essential, though. If you're going to get the girls together for a threesome, they got to be into one another. It's super important. That makes it a lot easier.
But yeah, for sure, as a single person, I feel that I wouldn't have any restriction whatsoever, but... In a relationship,
you had personal experience because you were hanging out with a dude who was in an open relationship for a bit.
Yeah. See, in that case, like I was single. He didn't mind. I didn't mind.
You just never got together with his girlfriend or whatever she was.
No, like I said, I'm into dudes. I know she's really pretty. Don't get me wrong, but
you just weren't. It wasn't for you.
Yeah.
So if you were going to have a lesbian encounter, it wouldn't have been with her.
It would not have been with anybody. Period. I am straight as an arrow, so however, in my case, I mean...
But if you could have a threesome with any girl, who would it be?
It could be a celebrity.
No, fuck that. But me in a relationship, like I wouldn't have a threesome with my boyfriend. I am very monogamous and I know how I would feel about that. So, and on top of that, like I've heard, I don't know if it was from Corey or from where I think I've read it somewhere too, that like, I think it was like what, 9 out of 10 people who get into threesomes and they're like a exclusive couple, it usually goes wrong. So I I care about my boyfriend too much. I care about my relationship too much. I don't want something like that not only has a higher probability of ruining the relationship, but I feel that I would be opening a door for him. Because for me personally, based on
They could
experience,
never close
and I'm
again.
pretty sure it happens with women, but at least in my case with guys, when you do something you're not comfortable with, but you go out of your way to do it for that guy because you care about them, they usually use the excuse like, "Oh, you let me do it the first time. Why can't you let all of a sudden like why can't you let me do it the second time? I don't want to open that door."
Women naturally, biologically, fear losing their protector as well to a woman or another female rival. That's one of the reasons why women instinctually don't like that. Or if they're with a guy that's, especially a dude from the Middle East that's got multiple wives, some of them are gonna typically be jealous of one another, and that's why most of the dudes that I coach, they're all the women, the wives all live separately, but they still get catty, they still get jealous of one another. That's why it's so super important. Anybody you allow into your circle, plus people you work with, it's like they gotta like each other.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the worst. I mean, we've all had jobs and work with people we didn't like and have been forced to put up with their crap. It's like, or an overbearing boss, or a noxious coworker, and or just some people you don't like.
Yeah. I have a relative who had a friend, this was like years ago, that they've been married for years. They had a threesome and shit hit the fan for them. So I'm like I said, like I'm too monogamous for that shit. I care about my partner too much for that.
But like you said before, what if, okay, you've been with your significant other for like 10 years. You guys, you're not, I mean, you don't have to be married, I guess. But this is just, you know. And they asked you to have a threesome, and you're in love with this person, you love them, and would you still not do it, even if they were like, well, if you don't do it, then I'm leaving?
If I'm completely honest, that would not, like, I know for sure I wouldn't want to do it regardless.
So it's a no for you, straight up. You would
No,
never do
straight up. Like, this isn't an
You're
answer.
out of here, bro.
This isn't an answer that I know for sure that any dude would not like, but that's how I am. You know?
He would
if
stay
you
on your
wanted to have a
ground.
threesome, why the hell did you not do it when you were single before getting with me? Like, what is your excuse?
Maybe he's trying to liven things up.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just how I see it.
This is after like a 10 years, because
Really,
usually it takes a...
Typically, you're gonna see women that are just into other women, and if they're in a relationship with their boyfriend or their husband, they're gonna occasionally bring other women into the bedroom, into their relationship. I got a friend of mine that his wife likes girls, and for years she's brought girls home to their bedroom. They also, full disclosure, had a period where they were on a break for about a year and a half, and it was looking like they were going to get a divorce because he ended up getting into a relationship with another girl. But they've since gotten back together, and they're very happy. But in that case, it was always like her bringing home different, beautiful. I mean, hot. This girl was hot, and her girlfriends were hot too. So,
yeah, like
when
I
you
said,
have a woman that's into that, then it's so if that's what you're looking for, you got to find girls that share the same values. Because trying to convert a girl that's super monogamous, it's not really into it, doesn't like women, it's not just, it's like trying to push the cart uphill from behind.
yeah. Talk her into opening that door for you. Like,
yeah, it's a no for me.
Like dragging donkeys.
It's not cool. It's not cool whatsoever.
At the end of it, it makes you feel like, maybe what my boyfriend's
values.
gonna get with her now.
Yeah.
You got to have the
paranoia's
same
gonna be real.
values for it to
Yeah.
work.
So I mean, I would never do it with my boyfriend, and he's never asked me. So thank God, because I'd be hell on wheels. My mouth would never close. I'd be screaming at him for all
Mouth would
eternity.
never close. It never closes now.
Yeah, but for sure it's not for me. I know how I can be. So not for me whatsoever.
So important, whoever you're dating, that you got similar values. If you're into that stuff, you got to make sure the women that you date are into that stuff and open to it instead of trying to convert girls that are not.
Yeah. This reminded me of that story that we were talking about that one time of the girl, and I think it was like her husband that they had a threesome with a chick, and turns out she ended up, I think, like leaving him for the chick. I don't know if you remember that story.
Yeah, it was in the news. He suggested, "Hey, we should do a threesome," and she's like begrudgingly agreed to it. And then she ends up leaving him for a woman. I don't know if it was one of the women that they were having a threesome with, but I do know that she eventually divorced him, and I don't know if she married or she moved in with her girlfriend. So, I mean, it happens. Sometimes people are, especially if they've been together a long time, and then they want to try and do something like that. Typically, it's just like the swinger thing. They're trying to monkey branch. They're trying to hold on to what they got while they look for something that feels better. Instead of, if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, having the courage to leave and get back to being single and enjoying your life, your time alone. Because again, if you don't enjoy your time alone, you're not going to be good company for anybody. So work on that first.
Yeah.
Before you
Work on
create something
you
new.
first.
Yeah. Like I was saying with Jade, it's like if you wanted to have a threesome and you know that your partner's not gonna like it, why didn't you have a threesome before you got with that person? Like it's not a lot of people.
Because
there's
they
people
think
that
maybe they can change your mind.
yeah no. There's a lot of people I feel that a lot of people like threesomes more than you think, but it's like there's definitely a good amount of people that don't like that. So like
There's lots of women that are into other women, and it's so important just to ask, and that's part of the pre-qualification process is the person or the women that you're going to get involved with are open to those things. And there's lots of them out there, and they're very open and very honest if you know how to ask the right questions. If you're authentic, if you're real, if you share what you're looking for. And even on the dating apps, and a lot of the different dating apps will have that. Women can put that down if they're bisexual.
mm-hmm.
It's even more fun when you meet them in person.
Yeah, and they also make it clear. I know some people make it clear from like the start, especially in their bio. They're like, "Oh, looking for threesome, looking for this, looking for that." So they're like very straight up about that too. At least back in the day when I used dating apps.
Back in the day, back when I used to walk uphill 10 miles to school
Or-
in
And
the
the
snow.
snow.
If you're not polyamorous,
Barefoot.
swipe left. If you're not this or that,
Yeah.
swipe left.